to take a time out to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing us via GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Welcome to this edition of To The Point. It's Wednesday, the 14th day of August. You're already getting to that midway mark within the month of August. And welcome everyone. Hope everyone is in high spirits this morning. You know that there's that saying always, after the carnival is over, you know, business continues. And of course, we're certainly in that mood right now. Let me say good morning to my guests this morning, the Honorable Adrian. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome to The Point. How are you this morning, sir? Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for hosting me this morning. It's a pleasure being on GDN, and good morning to all the people listening to you far and wide. I am fine. I've survived the season and I've participated well, and I'm quite happy.
You didn't play a jam, right?
Excuse me?
I just wanted to get your take on that.
I don't have a choice. I think if I didn't play job yesterday morning, the Prime Minister would have cost the Ferry Minister for Culture.
And we don't want that happening under no circumstances.
After all, job is everybody's business.
So true. Carnival 2024. Of course, we're about to do a bit of a postmortem of it, take a peek of the highs and lows, if there were any lows at all. Just a mere look. Now, let's, as Minister, with over responsibility for culture, let's reflect on Carnival 2024. What's, of course, your reflection for Carnival 2024?
Carnival 2024. I may want to. It's early days still. We are only doing a preliminary analysis of the whole situation. Carnival 2024. I would say it was a bumper success. Obviously, there are little flaws and little bits and pieces that we have to fix, and we have to make sure that they don't occur again. We have some concern in some of the areas, but I think all in all, the people enjoyed themselves. We had good sunshine, we had good rain, so it was a cool long in some instances. But I think that the people really and truly enjoyed themselves, and I love to see the participation. The amount of visitors that came to Grenada, I would like to see the figures from the Tourism Authority at some point in time, maybe by the end of the week, or the case may be. But it was a lot of people that came to Grenada, and I think they all enjoyed themselves. We had a few little flaws in regards to how we had a little shooting incident in Lagoon Road. We had a little stabbing incident in St. Patrick. But I think all in all, there were no deaths. There were no serious accidents for now, in regards to information reaching me, and I hope, unfortunately, those things happen, but all in all, I think it was a very good carnival, and Grenadians can be proud of themselves.
All right, I will agree with that. Now, what are the highlights for you? In what are the areas you believe that we do need some work? Of course, every year there's always those flaws that may occur. From time to time, we know that, and we say the next year we're going to fix it and so forth. What are the highlights for you, and what are the areas you believe needs work? Of course, it gets Spice Mass, to that product that we continue to sell to the world. What areas do you feel that really needs work?
Well, before I go there, I may maybe just want to highlight some of the positive aspects of the carnival before we go into some of the flaws. I did be a little bit specific. I must congratulate the real stakeholders, Mass, Calypso, and Pan, and other auxiliaries who come forward to support Carnival. The traditional Mass cannot be left out. I think they have done a fantastic job. Year go, year come, they are playing a critical role. I usually refer to them as the architects of Carnival. Without them, there is no Carnival. So I want to congratulate them for coming forward in 2024 and participating with all the vigor, all the enthusiasm again, as they have done in the past. The people that came out to patronize with the various shows, we have to acknowledge them and recognize them. I think they have been pouring in those shows, and also the people coming from abroad. We have to give them praises because they keep coming year after year. I think 2024, as I said, I would like to see the figures, because what I've seen in regards to the amount of flights that came into Grenada, I think it has increased significantly, and I believe that we have to continue mobilizing people outside there and advertising the carnival as a product. I also want to take the time off to commend Spice Mass Corporation for executing Carnival 2024. As I said to you, there are a lot of little bits and pieces that we have to make adjustments, and there are concerns that the government is we'll have to take into consideration. But all in all, I cannot forget some of the stakeholders, the sponsors, the Lotto. I cannot forget them for participating. And as I said, the auxiliary staff, the security, the judges, they all play a critical role in terms of making sure that Carnival 2024 happen. Some of the concerns that we have, and I guess right at the public, the tip of the finger, they may be concerned about the starting of the shows. I think some of the shows started way beyond too late, and we did not get a smooth start in many of the shows. Some of them were half an hour behind schedule. They were an hour behind schedule, and then we have to consider the whole question of producing those shows. I'm not too sure if we had, as far as I'm concerned, we did not have the kind of professional producers in those shows, and you could have seen them. You could have seen the long breaks between events on the stage on a particular night. We want to make sure we polish those things and get those things right. We want a smooth flow of shows. We should not be sitting in a stadium for 4, 5, 6 hours for one particular event. We have to see how we can convert those things into a 4.5 hours show and let people get up, go to other events. Those things have to be taken into consideration. Obviously, they come with a cost, and it means coming to the next point. I think as a government, I will say it publicly, we need to pump more resources into Carnival, and I say that knowing fully well that I have to get cabinet backing for that, but we have to put more resources up. But obviously, if we are requesting more resources for Carnival, we have to justify it. And by justifying it, it means that we have to have a good program, have good projects in place, and make sure that we plan Carnival from September to July and not from June to August. So it's a lot of work that has to be put in place. I have seen, sitting in the chairs, the Minister of Culture, I've seen the shortcomings in regards to the amount of human resources that we have available. A lot of those activities are based on volunteerism. An activity like Carnival that is capable off the bat of generating over maybe $50-60 million in the economy, we have to reconsider the amount of resources and review and consider putting more resources, more human resources into Carnival. And not only just putting human elements per se, but we want people that have the technical skills, the ability to really make things happen. The general public may see that year after year, you go to Juve and it's just the same old. There's no creativity, there's no innovation. So those are things, bringing in new people into the arena. We should be seeing a difference in those things, but those things will not happen. So it would not, if we just sit by and just Christmas is coming December 25th, do or die, it's going to come and pass. We cannot have that attitude towards Carnival. We have to make sure that the world is evolving, and definitely we have to bring in some level of creativity in the job, bring in some level of creativity in the calypso shows, bring in some level of creativity in panorama. All these things call for a lot of attention and resources, monetary and human resources, in terms of making it happen. There's a lot of other areas that we have to look at, but we, for now, those are some of the areas I'm very concerned about if we want to make that Carnival product a product that the world would envy.
All right. No, you spoke about it. It leads to a question that I had, but since you preempted it, I just want to ask you again to get a different perspective on it for some reason or the other. Many folks are saying Carnival's become a massive, a massive Juve. Traditional mass is on the decline, with the exception of the jab. Even aspects of that is also dying. I would say that also. What is the plan for your ministry, sir, along with the Grenada Cultural Foundation and the Spice Mass Committee and so forth, to re-innovate, of course, or reinvigorate, the mass in Grenada? What are some of those plans you're thinking? Because you said a whole lot of things that you are sort of disappointed with. You spoke also about the things that you are happy about to see in Spice Mass this year. But what do we do to reinvigorate, the mass in Grenada from your perspective, being a culture enthusiast yourself?
Well, first and foremost, if you have a 9-year-old son or a daughter, or 15-year-old, and you ask them what is Spice Mass, they may not be able to tell you. They may just be able to tell a Juve Calypso partner, as the case may be. If you ask them, if they ask you, well, where can I find information? You may not be able to tell them. They might go and Google something and get some information on the World Wide Web in regards to Grenada Carnival, but really and truly maybe superficial information. I have instructed the Cultural Foundation very early in the game, sometime in March, to put systems in place where we can get some specialists, some consultant to do the necessary research to help us and so that we may tap. Because I don't too agree that anything is dying in Grenada. It is there. It is there. I remember, and if I may pull a political one there, people were saying that the National Democratic Congress is dying. Where is the National Democratic Congress today? It was just like a volcano sleeping there, waiting to erupt. And that is exactly what happened. So I don't think culture in Grenada is dying per se. If you go to Carriacou, and we normally refer to Carriacou as the cradle of culture, the culture is there. We just have to put the systems in place to revive it. Calypso is strong in Grenada. Some people may tell you because of the low turnout in some of the shows, people are not coming out. But the records will show that over 100 and maybe 20, 30 soca artists registered this year. Almost 100 Calypso artists are registered this year. Traditional band in Victoria and St. Patrick's and WAV is still and on the upward. So what we have to do as a nation, first of all, we have to define our culture. We must document those information so that the 9-year-old, coming back to the issue, the 9-year-old, the 12-year-old, the young people can put their hand on that document. What is Spice Mass? What are the different aspects of Spice Mass? What is Shakespeare Mass? They must pick up the document, read Shakespeare Mass. At the end of reading what is Shakespeare Mass, they must now put it into operation. The document must tell them what to do. It's like a recipe. So if you come from England and you have never played Shakespeare Mass before, and you pick up that document, in a day or two, you should be able to play Shakespeare Mass. And that is the kind of information, first of all, we have to document. Unfortunately, over the years, we did not see the need to do that. We did not put it into motion. And so Spice Mass is just in the air, it's just in thin air. And everybody pull little aspects of it. We have to come to a stage now where we must document what Spice Mass is as a product. If you go on YouTube, you will see what oil long is, and you will see all the ingredients and how to make it, and you'll be able to cook a pot of oil long. I mean, if you're a Grenadian, you may cook it better than if you're a Trinidadian or a Bajan or a Guyanese or an Englishman. So, but at the end of the day, you will practice and you will get it right. So this is one of the first steps that we need to do. And I said to you, those things don't happen like that. If you're going to sit by and hope that it's going to happen spontaneously, we will not get to where we want to go. So we have to put the effort into it. We have to put time into it. We have to put thinking into it and make sure that it happens. And we have a product, as I said, that will be envied by the world.
You know, Minister, you being the Minister of Culture now, there have been previous Ministers of Culture, and all have made out of that statement, and we've been hearing that for the last 30 years or more. This is what we need to do with Carnival. I mean, when are we going to see a serious, foot being taken and do what we have to do to bring back Spice Mass to that splendor? I mean, yourself.
I don't know if with that dung in the wall.
But folks are looking at it that way. Folks are looking at it. I'm not saying it's.
I think we are up, and at this point in time, if we highlight the Soca Monarch in Grenada, I don't think there's any Soca Monarch with that fire and heavy works in any part of the Caribbean or any part of the world in regards to Soca. Grenada is rising in that regards.
That's one aspect of it, sir. I mean, that's one aspect.
There are many aspects of it, and as I said to you, I am quite happy that we are still present. We are still live. There are a lot of things that are alive in Grenada still, but there are a few concerns that we have, and we're going to address them. We may not get it perfect, but I don't think we are on the downward trend that we are the least carnival in terms of events in the Caribbean. I think we are very, very, very at the top, but we need to go higher.
All right,
and better, bigger and better.
I agree. My next question is, are you satisfied with the work of the Spice Mass board? There's been many complaints about the build-up to Carnival, and the lack of activities to build the momentum towards Carnival. We understand, Hurricane Beryl came and so forth.
But I will say,
Tell me.
I will say here quite frankly that I'm quite we as Grenadians we have to see if we go to talk about how Spice Mass is on the rise. The Spice Mass is attracting more people to come to Grenada. Then there's something positive about it, and I think the Spice Mass Corporation has to be commended for the work that they have been doing over the years. But you will realize that I made the point as a government, and I'm going to take the responsibility that we need to pump more resources into Spice Mass, not only financial, but also human resources. They have a secretariat that functions throughout the year. Are they giving enough resources? Are they giving opportunities to function in the way that they should? Are they training Wild Indians, Jab? Are they training Calypsonians? Are they doing all this auxiliary work that is needed to make sure that the art form, the product itself is perfect? No, they are not doing that because they don't have the necessary resources. So I'm saying to you, our government is committed to making sure that we develop at the highest level. We may not reach the peak in 1 year or 2 years, but we're going to take our time and we're going to build it solidly and sustainable.
Thank you, sir, for this segment. We'll be due for a break. We come back. We should chat some more. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch your dial.
We all got our families to protect, and it means that we got to protect our communities. Let's stop the gun violence. The truth is, we all tend to suffer. No one gains, we all lose. The families are affected, churches are affected, communities are affected. Let us put on the guns and the weapons. Let us unite. Let us build a better Grenada. I am Dylan Felix, Barcelona Olympia 1992. Peace out.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Labukan Creative Center presents the final staging of I Do at the Duluth Cinema Grenville, Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. Tickets available at Labukan Creative Center, Waterfed, and St. Andrew's Pharmacy at $75. It's the most hilarious comedy ever staged in Grenada. It's I Do by Uriah Speakers, Sunday, August 25th, Duluth Cinema Grenville at 6 p.m. Don't you miss it.
The heat is on. The pressure is real. Every ball, every boundary, every wicket, a battle for Caribbean supremacy. 6 teams, one dream. The Caribbean Premier League returns, and this time it's personal. Get ready for the carnival of cricket, the rhythm, the passion, the unstoppable energy of the CPL. Get ready for the rhythms of the islands and the roar of the crowds. Biggest stars, the most passionate fans, the ultimate party atmosphere. This is cricket like you've never experienced it. Are you ready to feel the rhythm? CPL 2024. It's more than cricket. It's an experience. It's life. For your team.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 14th day of August. We have with us this morning the Honourable Minister Adrian Farmers. MP, good morning, and once again, welcome back. And I hope all is well with you once again. I want to get into tourism a wee bit in this segment of our conversation this morning. Now, as Minister responsible for tourism, and do you have any information on visitor arrival, of course, for the year so far? And if there's an increase, what is based on? What is it really based on then? Or what is causing this increase that we are seeing? If you can share that info with us this morning.
Well, I wish as I said before, I wish I had the information for the amount of arrivals we had for Carnival in particular. But generally, for the first quarter of the year, we have surpassed pre-Hurricane Ivan figures not Ivan, but COVID figures, because you will realize COVID 2019, 2020, the number of tourists visiting the island, stay-over visitors, went way down the road. That's one would have wondered whether we'll get back there or not. It took quite a while to get back there. 2022 we saw an increase. 2023 we saw an increase, and the first half of 2024 we have also seen some heavy increase in various areas. Stay-over visitors, cruise ship visitors. We also have people. And I must say, make the point here that in February 2024, we had a lot of people coming to Grenada, and that was one of the reasons why many people came to the country. But also, I must admit here that the GTA has been doing a tremendous job in terms of advertising Grenada as a tourist destination quite successfully. They have organized a number of activities that encourages visitors. They have been working with travel advisors. They have been working with journalists all over the world, trying to promote Grenada, trying to tell the world that Grenada is the place to visit, and they have been doing that with a high level of success. I must admit, I have been interacting with the chair of the GTA. I've been interacting with the CEO, the staff there. We have a very good relationship, and I think they're doing a tremendous amount of work in regards to bringing tourists to Grenada. But all in all, it is looking good. It is an industry that contributes as much as 40% to the GDP of the country. And if you have one sector contributing so much, then it tells you a lot about the industry and the importance of it to Grenada. and I always tell people that while we are saying 40% of the GDP, and we also have on record that School of Medicine contributes as much as 25% to the GDP, which means if you consider what's going on in SGO as some aspect of tourism, then you can reasonably conclude that overall tourism contributes about 65% to the GDP, and this is significant, and this is very, very important.
Now, what are your projections for the upcoming cruise ship season, sir?
Well, I can only say that if we have figures reflecting from 2022, 23, 24, only part of 24 going up, I can only project that it will continue going unless something serious happens in the world. That the war in the Ukraine could be a burning issue. We are seeing tension building up there. If a natural disaster, we had to get on the ball very early after Beryl to tell the world that Grenada is up and running. Our ports and airport are open, our restaurants are open, our hotels are functioning. We had to tell the world that very, very quickly and let them know that Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martin, while they were heavily damaged, the main island is up and running, and I think tourists responded to that. Visitors responded to that by coming to Grenada for Carnival, and they had no fear that they would have been in trouble. So I project that this season will be very good, and there will be an increase as it continues for the first quarter, the second quarter, it continues to rise. So I think that in the tourist season opening in October, we'll continue to see a rise. We do have sometimes we have shortages in Grenada in regards to room stock, and most of the hotels, maybe whatever, about 60, 70, 80% fill for the carnival season. But with the opening of the season, I think the cruise ships will be coming in. Stay-over visitors will increase. So I think that it augurs well.
All right. All right. Let me also ask you this: are there any new tourism-oriented projects, of course, slated to start in the near future?
I cannot tell you of any new one to commence per se, or where I sit, but I can tell you that there Intercontinental in one of the sister hotels with Six Senses and Las Adjust is on its way. Work is going on there. We have the liver project in St. Patrick. We also have Kawana Hotel in the south of the island that will commence. Some work will commence there. So it's looking good, and we are looking. I would not talk much about it, but we are looking for some new development to take place in Carriacou also.
All right, because it leads to a question I was asked, because I wanted to know what's the status of the Livera Hotel project and the Kawama Bay, the Crimpton Kawama Bay projects. You mentioned it, but not much details. I just wanted to know on the status of those projects.
The Sutters project is ongoing. Work is going on there. It's a massive project. Once that project is completed, I mean, it will be a serious economic boost for that particular for St. Patrick in the north, and it's part of the developing the rural areas. Tourism is very crucial. I will not be able to give you the technical aspect of it where they reach per se, but it's an industry. It's a project that is ongoing, and it's commencing nicely. On the Corner Bay, that project is in the hands of you will realize that government bought it from the original owners. We were able to settle the matter out of court, and we got a private investor, Silver Sands, to the owners of Silver Sands to take it on board, and they're in the process of making sure that it happens in 2026. It finishes in 2026 somewhere around there.
Okay,
I mean, subject to correction. But.
All right, great. Now, as Minister responsible for tourism, are you happy with the state of tourism, the growth that we are seeing, and so forth? Are you happy, or are there still room for much more development factors in terms of tourism?
Well, there is no limit in terms of where we go with tourism. I mean, the world is evolving. We have so many things happening around the world. You always have to be thinking about how you can develop the product that you have. There are some key destinations that we have in Grenada. We have Annandale, we have Granitang, we have Liver, we have Lipperseal. All those things were there for a long period of time. They are products that tourists come to Grenada to look at. But as a nation, we want to make sure that when they come to Grenada and they go back, they want to come. You do not want them to be visiting Lipperseal 10 years. And when they come to Lipperseal, they see the same old thing. So you want to develop that product. So when they come for 5 years, they see Lipperseal. They come for the next 5 years, they see something different on Lipperseal. And it's a process that we will continue developing. In Granitang, when the tourists visit Granitang, you do not want them to just come, take a picture and go back. You want them to spend 3 hours, 4 hours in Granitang. What is there for them to spend 3-4 hours is a question that we have to entertain, is a question that we have to answer, is a question that is something where it has to be centered around developing projects. I made the point there, and I had the privilege of visiting Harrison Cave in Barbados when it was just a cave, and you go there, you look at the cave, it's just a site. Today, if you go to Harrison Cave, you will see that the area is fully developed into a full-fledged tourist product. You will take about an hour and a half inside the cave, just driving around, looking at the development that they have done there. By the time you get out of the cave, you're hungry. You have to eat. Restaurants, they're there. And by the time after you spend another hour in the restaurant, eating and drinking, time to leave. The souvenir shop is right at the entrance. You will have to pass there. So I'm saying all of that to say that yes, Grenada is a real excellent tourist destination, but we have a lot of work to do in terms of developing the products, to modernize some of the products that we have so that they become globally friendly in such a way, move with the world, move in the direction that the world is going, digitalize the whole process and the whole thing. So we do have some work to do, and it's a never-ending work. In the next 10 years, the world going to be different. Tourists will be looking at it differently, and we have to raise our standards and reach where we want to be.
I'm happy to hear you say that, because as a citizen here of the island, I sometimes have the concern about our tourism products, our tourism attraction sites. Seem to be same old for the last couple of years, and I will be certainly happy to see this government and you being the minister, if you could able to do something that will just, transform what the visitors come here to see on a regular. You understand? And
it's not only what the government has to do, because it's
a stakeholders for all of us involved.
It's all over. The hotels are no, Grenada is no look. I mean, a lot of ages ago we could not have been talking about 5-star hotels. Grenada is now talking that language. So the hoteliers they are playing a significant role. The taxi men, you can see what the train in St. George's is doing. How many tourists are attracted to it? It's not just driving in a vehicle or a bus and going up to hotels. We may have to be talking about cable cars. All those things, as the world changes the outlook, we have to adapt. And I think the stakeholders have a critical role to play in terms of moving in that direction. The restaurants, the bars, how do we deal with the tourists? Tourists like to come to Grenada, come to the destination, interact with the community. Are we training our people to really interact with them in a friendly way, in a nice way, so that Grenada could continue, where people are saying that this is the most hospitable country in the world? And it will not come spontaneously. We have to put resources into it. We have to train people. We have to make sure that they are part and parcel of the whole thing. So it's a holistic approach.
So I have a question for you that just came to mind. You being the previous, leader of the National Democratic Congress back then, and you did attack the Six Sense project in St. David's. Now, as Minister of Tourism, responsible for that particular project.
I didn't. Can you rephrase that question?
I was saying, we previously saw you when we saw you as acting leader of the National Democratic Congress.
Acting leader
of the National Democratic Congress. You did attack the Six Sense, project in St. David's. Now, as Minister for the project and responsibility for the project, how are things with you and the developer? Do you still believe that the hotel destroyed the environment and provided no jobs for St. David's and other areas of stated during that particular protest that you had once? I wonder if you could answer me.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know where you get that question from. Because
it was public knowledge at the time.
My brother, I did not attack the hotel, and I would not do that. I'm all for development.
Well, you were part of the protest.
Hold on, I did not attack any hotel. What we did, we joined with the environmentalists in Grenada, and we expressed our concern for the lake that was there for centuries, and also for the bird sanctuary. And it was a demonstration that I will never have any regret about. I have visited the Six Senses. I have a good relationship with them, and I was happy to know that that demonstration highlighted the importance of preserving the pond. And if you go there now, you will see that the pond was preserved. The bird sanctuary maybe have been displaced, but the pond itself is there, and the hotel itself, Six Senses, is well inserted in the environment. Maybe it's one of the hotels that preach and practice sustainable tourism, which is what the world is looking at now. So I don't want to have the notion, give people any impression that the Minister for Tourism at one point in time attacked the hotel. It's a project that the National Democratic Congress supported fully and 100%. And the developers know that. We have a very good relationship with the developers. And one of the gentlemen, Mr. Kamal, he and I have a very good relationship. And if it has to happen again, where we have to demonstrate to preserve the environment, that is what the world is talking about now. So you need to rephrase that question next time you see me on your program, my brother.
Well, I just had to ask it again. Well, now that you have offered a level of clarification, I guess that is all good, sir. That is all good.
Thank you very much.
We do for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue the discussion here. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back. Don't touch your dial.
Lovely.
The Agricultural Show.
than just a storm. So when a hurricane is coming, please prepare your home. You can do this by having an emergency kit ready, covering your windows, trimming your trees, clearing your gutters, reinforcing your garage doors, installing a generator, and knowing your evacuation routes. Failing to do so can lead to immense damage to your home. Thank you. And
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's to the point here. Classic Radio, GBN TV. Good morning to those of you via our social media platforms. Good morning to you. Those of you who are, of course, viewing and listening via GBN, is, of course, webpage gbn.gd. Good morning to you and welcome. Of course, Honorable Adrian Thomas, welcome back. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thank you.
My next question leads really toward, of course, our 50th anniversary celebrations. I would say, Minister Sunday, we're not hearing nothing about our 50th anniversary celebration. With the monies that was budgeted and so forth for the celebration, what is the latest with the celebration? And in the present state of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, in terms of the celebration, what is the present state of that? Let's hear from you as it relates to that, sir.
Well, the honest truth is I came this morning to talk about the carnival celebration and tourism.
I just wanted to get we talk a whole lot about carnival celebration in the intro.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more that I need to talk about on the carnival celebration.
But we will get back to that.
I can say to you that is the Independence celebration continues for 2024. We have the parish celebrations taking place. We have St. David's is coming up in October. We had St. Patrick's already. We had St. John. We had St. Mark. The celebration will continue. We also have there's another activities coming up. Well, we just launched the $50 note. It should be on the market now. You will see that the CARICOM roundabout is also, we have unveiled the CARICOM roundabout, and it's a beautiful site. This was part of the celebration. So the celebration, while it may not be at the level that we had it in September, in January, and the anniversary itself, it will continue in the next couple of weeks coming up in St. David.
Okay, great. Just a bit of a clarification of that. You want us to diverge a bit more in terms of carnival, because I know that, of course, you said that your main thought of what was one of the conversation we would have this morning, but sometimes you got to throw these questions in to get some answers, sir.
That's okay. That's fine.
Now, with carnival, let's talk about the stakeholders in carnival. Of course, how do you feel about the stakeholders in carnival? How do you feel that their participation, has it made carnival a grand event that it should have been? The stakeholders per se. Let's hear your take on that.
Well, right. The stakeholders, obviously, we have to engage the stakeholders some more. And if you just switch your mind to the rippling effect of Carnival and the real beneficiaries of Carnival, this is something that we have to have a discussion and we have to have a dialogue. What does Carnival means to tourism? And I will say it means a lot. The hotels are doing pretty well. They are important stakeholders, because when the visitors come to Grenada, we have to shelter them. We have to have a place for them. The restaurants, the bars, they are doing pretty well. The breweries might tell you that the peak sale is in August. Now, if they are providing the kind of beverages that our tourists are looking for, or visitors, and let me say visitors because you're talking about friends and families coming back home, visitors also coming to Grenada. They have a critical role to play, and therefore we need to have a sit down with the various stakeholders and have a dialogue with them and see how they can help, how they can be part and parcel of developing the product into making it more attractive, allowing more people to come into the country. Because more people come into the country, better for the tourism, better for the hoteliers, the restaurants, the bars, all those auxiliary supporting groups, stakeholders. It will be a plus. So if the product fail, can you imagine we have no Carnival in 2 years? People who are benefiting from Carnival, you will be shocked to know how much they are being affected if there is no Carnival in Grenada. So we want to make sure that this product is sustainable. It is there year after year after year after, so that we may not lose the economic benefits and spill-off that it brings to to the country. The people who sponsor the carnival activities, I think the government pump a lot of money into carnival. Maybe we need to pump some more. Lotto has been pump a lot of money into carnival. It's only last night I was asking the chairman of Lotto, I need to get a figure in terms of your contribution, not only to the Spice Mass Corporation, but to Calypsonians, to Mass Band, to Panmen. Where are you spending that money? We need to have that also, that we can have some level of transparency and give the public those figures. So he will make those figures available to me in a few days. But we must be grateful for the people that come forward and spend the money in as stakeholders. And these are the people that we must continue to thank, because without them, a lot of the stakeholders, the Calypsonians and the Panmen and the mass bands will not be able to come forward. And a very important category that we cannot overlook is the question of the Calypsonian. And I'm paying particular emphasis to Calypso here, because for 20 years I practiced Calypso, and I know the pain that Calypsonians go through. Don't look at a simple a song on the radio like the Road March, not the Road March, but the Calypso Monarch, Soca Monarch Calypso, or the Calypso, the Kaiso Monarch. These guys spend a lot of money in terms of making that product reach the stage it is for you to enjoy a carnival. One Calypso may cost, if you look at, I had a chat with Scott, and he said to me that he went out of Grenada to produce the music. Now, if you're going out of Grenada to produce that music, it could well cost you $7,000-8,000 just to produce one song. Locally, it might cost you a little less, with due respect, because you're looking for the level of music that maybe Grenada need to get, and we have not gotten there as yet. But it costs a lot, and if as an artist you're going to produce 3 Calypsos locally, I can bet your bottom dollar you're going to cost you about $10,000. So that's one Calypsonian, and if you have 120 Calypsonians at least doing a Calypso each at the cost of $3,000 for one, you can understand the input that Calypsonians is making into that product. Are they the real beneficiaries? Do they get the real benefits? I may say yes, but just if you make it in the finals, you may get something, and not even you may not be able to cover all your costs in the finals unless you get one of the top prices, 1 to 3. So we still have a lot of work to do in terms of assisting these stakeholders like the Calypsonians to help where do they record the music? The studios. Are these studios well equipped? The creative economy is looking at some of the ways and means in terms of how we can help these studios to provide better sound system, better music. We understand the contribution that music has made to Trinidad and Barbados and Jamaica and those islands, and we understand what the government has done. Hence the reason why we are not reinventing the wheel, but we are creating a scenario where Calypsonians can record their songs at a cheaper rate. But if they're going to record it at a cheaper rate, the studio men cannot be at the brunt of the cost, so the government have to step in, and that's the reason why we are stepping in to see. And we have a program where we can give 100% concession if you want to improve. Everybody cannot get at the same time, but bit by bit we'll get to where we want to be. So the stakeholders have a critical role to play, and the Calypsonian, the Massmen, the Panmen, they are all important to the drive in terms of developing Spice Mass.
Okay, great. I also, the question of reinventing or refocusing on the incentive, to especially for Pan and the Calypsonians, as you spoke about a while ago, reinventing the incentive so that would get that mass participation. We get an increase in the standards of what that we're receiving over the years. Your take on that? Reinventing the of course, or getting more into the incentive that's been offered to artists especially and other stakeholders in Carnival. The mass band, of course, to folks who make the costumes and so forth. The incentive that are offered to them. Any thought have been given to that? I know it's a lot.
Well, the creative economy is a new department within our own ministry. As a matter of fact, the ministry that I'm headed now it only started. It came into force in January, so it's a brand new ministry. But the creative economy is a new language that we are speaking in Grenada, and wherever we can assist. We have a program ongoing now where people are applying for assistance in all different fields, and not only in culture, but also in the hotel industry. We are pushing the rural tourism. Also, the Ministry of Tourism is involved in that, where you have a product you're not even aware of the potential that it has. We are prepared to hold your hand. We are prepared to hold your hand and carry you through and give you the necessary financial assistance. As I say, I do not want it to be a floodgate where everybody going to rush for it, but we want to make sure that we do it properly and sustainable. If you may be doing a little chocolate production in your kitchen. You may be putting out a very good product, but you need to move forward. You need to advance. You cannot. You're not big enough to attract the financial institution, and that is where the government comes in to assist you in terms of getting those things going. If you are interested in wire bending and making costumes in Grenada, we will not turn our back on you because we understand the potential that this can carry, not only you as an individual, but the country, what it can do to Carnival, what it can do to the creative industry in terms of mass production in Grenada. And that is the reason why we created that ministry, to see if we could assist people in those areas.
Okay, great. So we drew for a break. Let's take it. We come back in our final segment. When we come back, the next segment, we invite our listeners and viewers. If you do have a question or two you may like to direct to the minister, feel free to do so in our next segment. Stay with us, folks. Right back. Don't you dare touch your dial. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. This is To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Welcome back, of course, Honorable Minister Adrian Thomas with us this morning. I didn't say, of course, and before the break, that if you do have a question or two that you may have to direct to, would you like to direct to the Minister, you can feel to do so in this segment. We do have a call online. Let's entertain our first caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, thank you very much, President. Good morning. And President, good morning to you, Honorable Minister. I have not gotten since the elections, but I have some disappointments, and I have a few questions there. But let me just try to be as quick as possible because, time is on us. I've been a taxi driver since 1974. That's 50 years. Now, I do have a problem at this present moment. Well, I don't really concentrate much on taxi driving anymore, but I can drive. But anyway, one of the problems that I have is, over the years, there has been a number of guys operating in South St. George's. They are not taxi owners. They are not taxi drivers. I cannot say exactly what they are. Maybe some walking tour guide or something like that, But I have had a problem with these guys because what they do is they walk with the foreigners for long distances, long hours, and then they manage to get them to sit in a taxi and with their price, not the taxi driver's price, as the case may be. And when the taxi driver does the job and he comes back, they will now demand what they want from the taxi driver because they gave him a job. I mean, I could remember in the earlier times, GUFP time, and some of these guys will be arrested and held in the fire station when tourist boats are coming, cruise ships are here. I am wondering, are you all thinking much about getting back into that system? Because they are creating a serious problem for taxi drivers on the island here now. I mean, as I said before, okay, all right. My name is Michael Andrews. I have a second problem with I'm wondering, because you and the Ministry of Tourism, the Grenada Tourism Authority and whatnot, etc., and probably also the Attorney General, the DPP, etc. Now, there's this few associations operating on this island. But there's this one in particular that I have a serious problem with. I mean, they forced me because after, driving taxi from 1974, in 2017, a member of that taxi association, National Taxi Association, tried we did a business where she swung over her membership to me. And I was told that I had to go back to school in order to become a member. Well, I did that. Over $600 it cost me. I missed so many fares during the hours at the time I had to go there and whatnot. Maybe over $2,000 being involved in that particular period. Now, when I went in there, I was I'll use the local colloquial word, bamboozled. I mean, I have evidence before me here. I have excerpts of all that has happened between myself, president of the National Taxi Association. There's a lady walking in there. I think her name is Kinda, whatever her name is. And all of these communications that I had with her, I have them written down in front of me here. I have them as excerpts of what has happened over the years. And, you know, it's strange enough. One day the president would tell me, come and play with us. You know, come and pray with us because you're a good guy. A few days after, I was told he would drop some letter against me and whatnot, etc. Now, this association is operating illegally. I have a constitution before me here, and they should be operating from the constitution. They have also a bylaw. And I am saying today, I am asking you and the Tourism Authority, the DPP, and all of these people to investigate into this National Taxi Association that is operating on this island here illegally. This president that is there has been there for probably 40, 50 years, unmoved, and he is not even trying to make an attempt to give the members an audit report when the time is due, and still refusing to hold a meeting, to have elections, as how the Constitution has said it once every year in the month of March. I am asking you here, sir. Listen, let me say it again. I lost my leg, one foot I have, but I have children, and I am saying, well, I support you, I support the National Democratic Congress. I may sound a little bit hot because you can imagine what I've been suffering over the years. I have a letter before me here. You were the Minister of Agriculture. It's dated the 14th of October, 2022. And I can't go into all of the details that is here inside of this letter, but I know that I hand-delivered this letter outside of your office door. I got a number from the lady I spoke to. I have a name here. I wouldn't call that name. And I have not heard or gotten a response from you as a farmer. And even now that I lost my leg, because I lost it through the burning of coals, and even now that I lost my leg, I still find myself flat on my bottom, on my two hands, planting fig, blowwood, digging yam, planting whatever it is, peas, carrots, corn, tomato.
Caller, I'm going to have to ask you to take another 10 seconds and wrap, please.
Thank you very much. So I hope the minister has gotten my message, and I hope to see something seriously happening in this country where tourism is concerned.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Minister, I'm not sure if, of course, there's a whole lot been said there. I'm not sure if you could actually respond.
I think I'll be able to respond very shortly, shortly, in regards to the tour guides, the tourists, the tour guides are being licensed. They are licensed tour guides in Grenada. So I don't know if he's talking about the people that just operating on their own, but I know that the Ministry of Tourism has been training tour guides over the years and issued them an ID or something of that nature. So this is something that we can look into also. The issue of the legal association, taxi association, that has not. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, but it's something that we can look into. And most organizations, associations are registered in the registry, so we can. It's a simple matter to follow up and be guided accordingly.
Okay, caller. Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Minister.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. GT. Thanks for taking my call. I listened to the minister put in a big plug for saying over 10 years in Calypso. But as a former PAN man, I am telling him that PAN has to spend in excess of sometimes $90,000 to go to Panorama, only to win $40,000. And then there are lots of young people playing PAN now. They're keeping PAN, they're keeping the trend off the street. You understand? So I don't know what you can do to look at to improve the prize money. You understand? So they spend much money on Calypso, and Calypso is only one man. But sometimes there are 50 players in that band that benefit from that $48,000. That's a thought I think you need to know that. Secondly, Mr. Minister, the Minister of Culture, you was one of the advocates who made noise for people of different aspects of Carnival to be at the ministry. You had for Black Wizard, now in Trinidad, he was one for Calypso. You had Derek Clouden, who was there for Mass, and the rest in peace, David Peckhead was in the Steel Band. I have not heard, they have passed on, and I would like to highly recommend a Teacher Eddie. They all sang together in the same tent, from All Stars or wherever. To recommend him to be the Calypso person in the ministry, and to stock your ministry up, to take care. So we would not see that, we would not panel, there'll be more panel in the schools. There'll be more mass because you have somebody representing mass. I know who mass will recommend, but I definitely recommend to Teacher advertise. So you'll be working hard for Calypso and young people. All the best and take care.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Respond to the caller, Minister.
Thank you very much. Well, the honest truth is I did say stakeholders. I just highlighted Calypso because I've been practicing Calypso maybe. But I'm quite cognizant of the fact that the PANmen, the difficulties that the PANmen are going through, the cost of, it's just unbelievable in terms of what the sacrifice PANmen making sure that we have Panorama year after year. One of the areas we'll be looking at is to see how we can engage the PAN some more in the schools off the carnival season. And there was a fantastic PAN fest on the Carnage sometime before the carnival season there. So there's so much that has to be done if we want to make the carnival product something so much more attractive, and to remove some of the burden and difficulties that the stakeholders have to bear. Obviously, the state has a responsibility, and we will not be shying away from that responsibility that we have.
All right. Let's entertain another caller. We have limited time on the program this morning. Let's entertain another caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
GT, my friend, good morning.
Good morning to you.
And Mr. Minister, good morning. Mr. Minister, I've been following Carnival, right? Right through the Caribbean, example, Antigua, St. Vincent, whatever, right? And then, okay, what I'm observing, right? What I observe during the season, they bring all the shows and them live. All the shows live, nobody have to pay for it, basically. You understand? So people in the diaspora, people in the senior citizens get to watch it, right? Every time we have Carnival, we always look to charge like 35 US, 45 US and all these things for shows. You understand? Back in the days, I remember people used to be at the transition radio. You know, the local radio, everybody want to hear the Lou Smith commentating, the Shaman Wells. I want to know what you could do for stuff like that to change that narrative. You understand? For example, look at the people of Carriacou and Petit Matnik. How many of them will afford 40 US? You understand? I think as a minister, you should work on that for our senior citizens who in the hospital and things would like to listen to the radio to hear what's going on and stuff. So I want to know what's your take on that. If you're going to see something different next year and that live coverage will come where people don't really have to pay for live coverage. There is people going to be going there also, but let us go back to the old time thing as we bring back the old time traditional mass.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
Well, I don't know if I could really comment on that in the way that the gentleman is requesting, but it has been brought to my attention that it's all the shows were pay-per-view, and I myself took a pay-per-view package because it's sometimes you want to review things and you want to see it go over, but it's something we can look into. The Spice Mass Corporation saw the wisdom in collecting a fee if you want to look at the show online live. But we can review and we can look at it again and see what is the merit in terms of just broadcasting to the whole wide world. Would more people be looking at it? Will that be registered in the future where more people will want to come to Grenada and see for themselves what it's like, or would they prefer to stay at home, stay in the country and look at it live? So it's up for discussion, and we can look at it when we're reviewing the whole question of Carnival 2024.
Let's entertain another caller with me, which may be our final caller for the morning. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, one thing I want to raise to the minister. Now, there's a lot of by roads and inroads around the country, but the problem is that the signs are not erected. You don't have signs, so most time people traveling to those areas they get lost. You know, have to ask a question or so. So if the places like, you know, the countryside, the way into roads, inroads and way, if they have the signs up, people are able to, you know, they'll be able to travel along in a much more comfortable manner. So the problem is the signs. We need to erect signs in those areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. MP, and you respond to the caller in relation to that?
Yes, indeed. Signage is something that we have to entertain in Grenada. I mean, the world today. I mean, you have to. You cannot be asking people where to find John Brown, and the response will be just around the corner there after you pass the mango tree or a greenhouse. It cannot be that described anymore. We have to get to the stage where we have signage. St. David has been leading in that direction. Carrick is also leading in that direction. So there are other parts of Grenada where people put up signs. People invent their own signs and put it up in if you pass St. Andrew, you will see Hope City. By the time you reach there, you know where is Hope City. The problem is getting into Hope City. That might be a problem. So we have to. It's something that as a society we have to invest in and get our modernized. But Grenada will get there. I remember in Uncle Gary days we had numbers on houses. I've seen some of the houses with still the same piece of metal on it with a number. So we started the process. He didn't finish, but it's something that we're going to sign. The Prime Minister is very fond of that. He's leading in that direction in St. David, and most of the roads in St. David there are signs on it. And this was not a state activity. It was people, a private citizen, recognizing the value of having signages, decided to make that contribution, and this is a plus. And in going forward, it's something that the state has to take on.
All right, great. And I did say that was going to be a final caller, but I had this call on hold for a wee bit. I'll give them the opportunity. Caller, and I beg of you to be very brief with your question, please. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Morning, GT, and morning, Mr. Minister.
Good morning, sir.
Some of the ideas expressed by the earlier caller, I endorsed it, especially the one by the man related to Pan that used to be involved in culture before. I wouldn't call his name, you know who is it. But I would say this, because we have been involved in the past in reviewing Carnival and so on, trying to make it better, and some of the same things still exist. So I would suggest highly that you get an advisory group to help you to remind you of some of the things that we should really work on to improve the status. And also to stem this commercialization or commodification of the carnival in particular. It really excluding a lot of people. I'm a senior citizen now, and I'm unable to benefit, to benefit from what has happened because I can't pay for pay-per-view and so on. And then we could do something to reach everybody. But we had to sit down and talk about those things as a nation. Thanks.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
MP, of course, that's our final caller. Let's get some closing contributions from you, sir, as it relates to our program this morning.
Well, first of all, I must say thanks for hosting me, and I look forward to the to coming back on your program to have a more detailed discussion when the figures, when everything is analyzed and put in perspective. I am happy that the carnival season has come; it's over, and we now look forward to 2025 to be organized in a more efficient and a better way that's going to make Grenadians and our visitors happy, and make it a memorable activity in the festive season.
All right, sir. So I want to thank you a whole lot for being on the program this morning. Certainly appreciate you being on here with us and sharing the information that you did. Best wishes goes out to you, and all the best for the rest of the day, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point. Join me again tomorrow, once the Almighty permits, for another edition. Have yourself a good day, folks, and goodbye.